Absolutely, absolutely great. We can't complain. Just the fact that it is really a feeling of normalcy. We went through the season last year in a COVID season, but to have, you know, 110 people in a meeting room and then individual meeting rooms watching tape without masks on, learning, being able to eat together. It's the little things we take for granted that are really, really important in team bonding, and getting together. Everyone talks about culture. Culture is a sign you hang in your boardroom. Make sure you tick a box. You build culture, eating with people, meeting with people, setting your standard. And you can't do that on Zoom. Now, we were happy to be on the field, but, being live back in person, sharing food together, it's a tremendous experience, and I'm really proud of where we are right now. Yeah, we got a late jump on things, but you know what? Our staff has done a pretty tremendous job in pulling things together. So our a big thing going into this year. Well, we got our staff on board a little later than we would have liked to, but we really made a focus on we've every year it's been about the X's and O's, and the X's and O's are very important. But I made a demand to our coaching staff that we were going to develop our kids this year, and we were going to make sure we continue to develop them. We've done a tremendous job. My staff has done a tremendous job of getting kids prepared and ready to play at the next level. We want to continue to do that, but we want to develop everybody. And we think we got a bunch of talented kids, and we're going to work heavy on development. And we feel from a skill perspective, when we can become experts at our individual skills, the X's and O's are just going to fall into place. So I'm excited to see what this group has. Yeah, we brought in some really good kids, like we do every year. We brought in some really good kids. We brought in a smaller recruiting class this year. We were anticipating a smaller roster, and then U Sports decided to stick with the 110, so we didn't bring in as big of a class as we normally do. But we brought in some quality kids, especially at the receiver position. We brought in a young man from British Columbia, Isaiah Edwards, who's done some dynamic things, 3 days and 4 days into camp. Charles Perreault from Quebec. It's always great to have CJET players. They come in prepared to play. They're ready to play from the second they get here, and he comes from a really, really good program in Quebec City. So we're really, really excited to have him. Quentin Douglas, a local kid from Niagara Falls, who's just lit things up. We knew he was good, but seeing him live and in live reps and in team reps and actually seeing the game speed this kid has, we're really, really excited. On the defensive side of the ball, we were very fortunate. We got two twin brothers from Calgary that are going to play with their older brother, Mac Bannatyne. Cooper and Carson Bannatyne are just as electric as their older brother, Mac, and they're fighting for their place and their mark on our defense. So we're pretty pumped to have them join our squad. Olivier Mahou from FX Garneau, from the same school as Charles Perreault. Again, the Quebec kids. I'm not saying they're better than Ontario kids or anyone else in the country, but they're definitely prepared. CJEP football is one of the best high school football programs in the country, and the Quebec kids come in really, really ready to play. So we're excited to see what that happens. And to name a few, we have so many other amazing kids that we're excited to show the OUA, but they're just a few we can highlight right now. Yeah, we got some we're really excited about our defense. What Coach Okpro has been able to do the last couple of years. Within our program in developing this unit has been absolutely tremendous, and that's continuing right now. We have some really key veterans. Some of them we know are going to play in the CFL. We're excited to see what they do this year. Our linebacking core is very veteran, with two fourth year seniors in Matt Dean and Dawson Davis that are going to they're going to be the leaders of this group. They're going to be the foundation of this group of young linebackers, because we brought in a young squad. On the defensive line, again, I don't want to say we're old. We're not old, but we have a lot of miles. We have a couple second year and third year kids that got a lot of miles on their legs, and that's pretty exciting. They were able to get some quality snaps over the last 2 years. The unit's definitely led by Jason Javier Messier, Champlain Cougar, another CJEP kid who's just been absolutely electric for us. Was our rookie of the year last year, and has definitely not only a leader on the defensive line, but it's been a leader on the defense along with Matt and Dawson. And Mac Bannatyne, he's our boundary half, and he's only in our second year, but he's a kid that our secondary is turning and looking to for some leadership. Now he might not be the most vocal guy, but I can tell you he leads by example. He does everything right. There's nothing this young man doesn't do, and telling you right now, he is dangerous. He's going to be dangerous, and I'm excited to see what this young man's going to do in the OUA. Offensive side of the football, we're very skilled. That's one thing you can say about York, especially on offense. We're very skilled, and that's going to be our mission this year, is get the ball into our skilled players' hands, and we're going to do that. We have a very mixture between veteran and talented receiving corps. Retson Daly, who I think could be the best receiver in the country. He has that's his pedigree. He has that ability, and he's lit it up from the second we started camp. He's been one of those look what Retson did type players throughout this camp. And we just have a lot more skilled older players in that position. Gabe Apayakubi's in his fourth year, has played a little over his career, but we're going to rely on a lot moving into this season. Victor Belanger, who is an older kid from British Columbia that's come in and really has some solid leadership to this group. A young Avante McCoy, only going into his second season. He's leading with the hashtag this year, OUA First Team or Bust. And I can tell you, every snap is like you're in the Vanier Cup with this kid, and it's really, really excited to see. We're very fortunate to have a quarterback, Noah, going into his fourth year, and again, that helps. When that's one of the most. It's the most difficult position in football, and having age on your tires, being older, definitely helps, and we're excited. We're very glad with what we've seen already from our offense, and we know there's going to be a lot more. On the offensive line, it's a core group. Now we got some battles. We brought in some recruits, and we were trying to push these kids. They're definitely led by a third year player, Evan Ansu, who's been the leader of this group as a very young man. From the first year he got here, he's taken a leadership role, and again, another quiet kid. But a kid everyone looks to what's going on. But we've surrounded him with some great players. We have an older kid, Brandon Bumstead, who's going into his second year of playing. Been here a couple of years, but going into his second year of playing. And it definitely helps having that veteran presence that we've never had before. And some really, really good young kids. Xavier Correa is just, not only is he a very large man and an extremely incredible athlete, he's taken on a leadership role in only his second year. Another great second year, Santino Pasquale, who started for us all last season, is coming in, and again, those starts he got last year coming in, even though they're a young group, they're invaluable, and we're really excited for this group, and we have a bunch of other kids. That's just to name a few. I'd love to mention them all, but we have a really, really solid, great group, and we have some cutthroat competition going on that O-line. Guys are fighting for jobs. Guys don't want to let go of jobs, and we're excited to see what happens.